Hi there, I'm Andrea Koppel, and it's Time for Coffee, the podcast where you get to hear firsthand what the jobs and careers that interest you the most are really like. Hey there, Java Junkies. Welcome to another K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. By the way, K-Cups come in 3 sizes, single, double, and triple shots, or roughly 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes in length. So if you don't have time to throw back an entire caffeinated career conversation, these K-Cup mini episodes of T4C can give you a quick caffeinated fix, whether you're on the go or you only have a few minutes to binge. So grab your mug and take a chug, because it's time for a caffeinated career double shot K-Cup with my guest, Arbi Derzakharian. So we're down to our 2 final Time for Coffee questions that I try to ask all of my guests, Arbi. The first one is, could you share a time in your professional life when you really struggled? Some of us have been fired. Some of us have had really challenging bosses or coworkers. But the most important thing here is how you persevered and maybe a lesson that you learned in the process.
So there was a time before IMAX where I had to leave a company, and it wasn't a decision that I made. And I don't want to get too much into that, but it was a really low point in my career. I had worked there a long time, and it was a time to move on, but it wasn't a decision I made, so I wasn't confident about the situation. So I kind of rebooted my career at that point in a maybe not a great way, but it ended up working out. I took an entry-level job at a company, and I worked there for 7 months, entry-level pay, and that was fine. I was actually glad I was working. I like working a lot. I like that kind of structure. I was there for 7 months, and I did the best I could. I actually made a lot of positive impacts. So it took 11 months to kind of get back on my feet. So the advice I would give to your listeners is sometimes when you're in it, it feels like it's lasting forever. But once you get out of that negative situation and in a much more positive one, you look back. Even in my case, which was 11 months, now looking back, it feels like, oh, that was okay. At least it wasn't a year. I like to look at it in a positive way. What I use to motivate myself is when I see an athlete traded or a coach fired, I like to follow sports a lot. I go, oh, wow, that's a big name and they're getting fired, or that's a big name athlete and they're getting traded. Everyone goes through this. It's those who are resilient and who keep punching back, or who keep applying, or who keep going out there for more interviews. Or if you want to be an actor, you keep going out for those acting jobs. If you keep showing up, your probability is going to go up to succeed again.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest takeaways for me from having interviewed well over 150 professionals at this point, and based on my own life experience, is one of the most important qualities you can try to cultivate is grit. You mentioned resilience. That's another way of saying it, is just the ability to put your head down and keep putting one foot in front of the other and move forward. Keep moving forward. If you can surround yourself with people who have a positive attitude, that will help. And try not to let yourself slip into a negative frame of mind. You will persevere. You will break through. But you have to keep trying, just as you said, Arbi.
Absolutely. Keep busy. Try new things. Look at new avenues you haven't looked at before. You never know what's down an alley. It might be something you're even more passionate about that you didn't know about yourself.
Yes. Someone else I've interviewed whose episodes are out there on the Time for Coffee website is Eugenia Harvey. And in the main Time for Coffee interview I did with her, she mentioned about how she always takes meetings. She always takes whoever it is that reaches out to her for an opportunity to sit down with her, because you never know what's going to come out of it.
Absolutely. It's so funny you mentioned that, because right now I'm in a mode of I'm trying to say yes as much as I can. So whoever asks me to go to an art show or what have you, yes. You never know. First of all, get out of the house is a great thing anyway, but you never know who you're going to meet, and be genuine about it, because that's what people look for. That's what professionals look for. They want a genuine person.
Yeah. And opportunities lie in all different places. You never know when that potential employer is going to bump into you at an art gallery, right? And you just strike up a casual conversation because you're both admiring the same picture. And it's like, oh, gosh, you sound like you know a lot about this. What do you do? What did you do? What did you study? And the next thing you know, they're saying, give me a call. I'd love to talk with you about a potential job we have. So I love that attitude, Arbi. Thanks for tuning in to this K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. If you want to listen to our entire caffeinated career conversation, please check out the show notes for this episode. Thanks so much for listening to Time for Coffee, where the professionals in the jobs that most interest you always have time to grab coffee 24/7, no matter where you live. I have one quick favor to ask you. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Time for Coffee. Thanks so much.